Hey guys, today we're joined by an absolute giant at the game. This is one we're both excited for. He's known by multiple names: the Magician, the CTO, the Mincer, if your name's James Haskell, or the CEO of CLAPHAM, and arguably he's got the best set of hands that South London Div 5 has ever seen. He's the captain of the CLAPHAM Falcons. That's right, it's the one and only Archie Curzon. How are you, buddy?
Mate, that is a decent introduction. I'm going to get that recorded. That could be my ringtone. I like that.
Oh, for sure. So I guess we're just coming out of lockdown. What have you been doing to keep busy for a few months?
Mate, I've just been doing a lot of fitness, keeping the rig ticking over. I'm really into my CrossFit. Anyone that knows me knows that I love F45. I've got a CrossFit team called the Chassis Monsters. So just been doing a lot of home workouts. I invested in quite a lot of kettlebells. I've probably got more kettlebells than most gyms, but that's just the kind of fun I have. And yeah, I've been working quite hard, keeping the economy afloat and eating well, sleeping well, just running the show really from AC Limited headquarters. I obviously work in the city, so I've got my job in the day. At night time, well, in the morning I'm obviously fitness, lunchtime I'm fitness, then evening after work I'll sort of tend to my duties as CEO of CLAPHAM. Just make sure that people were abiding to the social distancing rules. I was monitoring the CLAPHAM Common, making sure that no sort of wobbly fat chassis were running around the Common with their tops off. And just making sure that if there were some seriously good rigs out there working out, I'd go and just give them some confidence boosts, just say, mate, you're doing really, really well. Really like your golf swing if they're playing golf in the Common, or mate, you're doing really good with those TRX pull-ups. Really enjoy them. Keep them coming. And take that wife beater off. Get your whole chassis out. That kind of stuff.
So obviously CLAPHAM Common did make the headlines for during lockdown. There were a lot of people who weren't abiding by the rules. Obviously, the CEO of CLAPHAM, how do you go about trying to control that?
Yeah, it's disappointing. I talked to one of my direct reports in Clapham North, who sort of runs the press for our Clapham. But it's difficult, when you've got so many beautiful people living in one area. It's very hard for everyone to abide to the social distancing rules. And then you've also got an area where a lot of people enjoy lash. And you can say to people, listen, stay indoors, don't lash outdoors for 1 month. That's fine. But when you're saying 12 weeks, don't go outside, don't get your chassis tanned, and don't take any whispering angel to the Common, you're going to have great difficulty in Clapham. And so, look, at the end of the day, we did what was natural to us. We just went out there and enjoyed the sun, enjoyed the lash, and enjoyed opposite and same sexes. Whatever's your bag.
Obviously, you're also a phenomenal fly half for CLAPHAM Falcons. So a little bit, how's your season been going?
Well, the season's come to an end. I would say I'm not just the best fly half for CLAPHAM Falcons, probably the best fly half in Clapham, probably Southwest. I'm just going to put it out there. Yeah, it's been good. I've been keeping myself in great shape. Who knows? Potentially, there could be something coming with Quins. They might need me to come and sort of help them with the last bit of the season, but I can't really talk about that right now, unfortunately. Otherwise, get in a lot of trouble. But Kersey, who's a very good friend of mine, he's keen for me to come, not just for the rugby side, but for the banter side, because I've just got so much chat. So I think the boys would really appreciate it.
Oh, for sure. So we've had some guests who've talked about, I guess, their pre-match routine. Do you have like a ritual or like
Wait, who else has been on this podcast? Just so I know. What kind of company am I talking about?
Clive Woodward, Ugo Monnier, Henry Hutchinson.
I thought I once saw Clive. I kind of once thought I saw Clive Woodward on Clapham Common a while back, and I was doing some spiral kicking, and I absolutely smashed one right next to what I thought was Clive Woodward, but it was just a very, very old guy with no hair, which is really unfortunate. But okay, Ugo Monnier, yeah, great guy. This sounds like I'm in good company. Okay, sorry, carry on. Just interested.
Sure.
Pre-match routine. Have you got one?
Pre-match routine. Great question. I don't really have one as much. My motto is look good, play good. Normally in the mornings, I sort of wake up. I will, I'll shave my whole body before a game. I will shower. I'll do my press ups. I'll talk to myself in the mirror. I'm all about sort of self-motivation. I normally spend a lot of time in the mirror just saying, you're 10, you run the line. You're a great guy. Don't worry about what everyone else says about you. That kind of stuff. And I just go into the game full of confidence. I don't believe in superstition. You know, I'm a guy about hard work, and it will deliver the goods. You know, in the city, you know, I smash the fucking phones, and that produces the deals. You know, you've got to be in it to win it.
Yeah, and so obviously Clapham Falcons, Putney Pirates, the local derby. In a typical week building up to that match, what sort of goes on?
Mate, a lot of banter from our side, and a lot of shit chat from their side. Can't stand anyone that lives in Putney. Mainly, it's a lot of guys who play. The guys who play for Putney Pirates. Okay, there's a few guys in there who are doing pretty well, got some pretty good basic salaries. But then there are a lot of guys in there that I suspect are hockey boys in disguise. They're really skinny. They've not really put any time in the gym. They're just, you know, skinny stacked like a Pradlock. And we normally have a lot of chat to them, just saying like, you know, you shit, that kind of great chat. And they will sort of, you know, they'll say things about me, send out photos. You know, in the past they've sent out photos. By the way, if you've seen, I'm not me, okay? I'm not that, you know, I'm well endowed. You know, I don't care what. It's a complete joke what they've sent out in the past. A few years ago, I was saying I was looking to get on the property market, but unfortunately my father, he didn't have enough money for what we were really looking for at the time. But the estate agent I was using happened to be playing for the Putney Pirate. I didn't know that until the game day. And I had to put friendship aside. And I just was looking forward to fucking spear tackling the guy. Unfortunately, he was a prop. He was pretty heavy. But so it's intense, guys. I'm not going to say it's very much like AC Milan versus Milan, Man City versus United. You know, it's the big derby. People love it, and you know when you get the victory, it's a seriously big lash. Some of the biggest.
Sure. So I guess like some of the big clubs around the world, they have like an initiation or like a process for your first cap. Does the Clapham Falcons?
Yeah, we've got quite a simple one at the Clapham Falcons. We do, well, first and foremost, it's a toothbrush up the bottom, and you sing the national anthem, and you neck 2 or 3 pints of Guinness, depending on, you know, what kind of chassis you've got. And then everyone does a bum funnel. It's where each member of the rugby club will come past, and he'll take his trousers down, open his arse cheeks, and they will pour down a bit of their pint into the new person's mouth. So it's about 20 bum funnels, and then you're good to go. There's obviously, on the night, you will be debagged. But that's not even about initiation. That just happens when we're out on the lash.
So speaking about the Clapham Falcons, if you're talking to, say, an 18-year-old who's looking to get into rugby, how good a place is semi-professional rugby in South London as a starting block to go up to bigger and better places?
I mean, it's difficult because I'd say if you join the Clapham Falcons, you've really hit the limit. I mean, a lot of people say, well, I want to go on to pro. Once you play for the Falcons, you probably wouldn't, because what you get is you get professional style of rugby, but you also get like a professional style of chat that you wouldn't get in the professional game. You know, the banter is just flying around. Our WhatsApp group is just so funny. There's so many good little gifts from everyone. Honestly, it's one of my favorite WhatsApp groups, apart from the City Slickers, which is my other WhatsApp group I'm in with a couple of guys who work in the city or on some serious coin. But yeah, I'd say to any 18-year-old, if you want to come to Clapham Falcons, then, you know, you've got to have the chat. You've got to be able to play. And it's a great place to do business development as well. You know, I do a lot of business with the guys in the club, so it's brilliant. It's a home from home for me. I look at those guys and they're like my brothers.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
so I guess
I actually get on better with them than I do my brother. Yeah,
understandable. So I guess like England recently announced that they're going to be switching over to Umbro, so all the new kit will be made from Umbro. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, guys, I'm disgusted. It's almost like they are welcoming guys who like to go to family weddings in grey suits and brown shoes. It just contradicts what rugby's about. You know, rugby's about, you know, good guys or good basic salaries who went to good schools, who like skiing, who like Lobo, getting on the lash. And Umbro just opens it up to a whole new sort of demographic. I mean, I don't know what they're trying to do. I don't know if they're trying to open it up. It's ridiculous. I mean, I thought Umbro was for people who played football, to be honest, or people who worked in shops that sell holidays. If you catch my drift.
Yeah, no, I got you. So obviously,
people who work in flight centres.
So obviously in the Six Nations this year, there was the incident with Joe Marler. I was wondering what your take on that was.
Look, I'm all for ball grabbing, not just on the rugby pitch, but off the rugby pitch as well. I think it's just plain good bants. It's great chat. I had a teacher at school called Mr. Matthews who used to do it to me all the time, and it was just so funny. It really was. It was just such good banter. And actually, he's the guy that really got me into that kind of banter. And yeah, it was just great. I'd come down in the morning for breakfast and he'd give me a ball grab. And I'd be like, at first I was shocked, obviously, initially. But then he was like, banter. And I was like, right, I get you. Okay, good stuff.
That's an interesting concept. So moving on. So if we were to give you the opportunity to have a dinner party with whoever you want, you get 6 names. Yeah. Who's going to be on that table?
Great question. I'd say first name on that is my dad. My dad's my best friend. I really, really love my dad. I haven't managed to see him the whole of this lockdown, so I haven't seen him for 4 months.
Is that his choice?
He's currently. Pardon?
Is that his choice or yours?
Well, it's both ours. It's really complicated because my whole family were there for lockdown. My stepbrother, my 2 stepsisters, and their families as well. But he just said it would be too busy with me being there and their kids, and my stepbrother had his best friend and his family staying there as well. So it was really complicated. And now they're all in France at the moment. They've all traveled out for a couple of weeks there. They're having a great time. Just unfortunately dates didn't work for me. But so my dad, he's a great guy. He's an inspirational, amazing businessman. He made all his money when he was in his late 30s. Very fortunately, both his parents died in a car crash, so he inherited quite a lot. And then I would say James Haskell, the Fridge, one of my best friends. He'd be there. He'd be able to put on the music afterwards, and we'd be able to talk CrossFit, rugby, and just bands. Those are 3 things I love. Benders is again a guy that I've taught a lot of stuff to and helped his career immensely. And he'd probably be jealous if he wasn't invited. He'd be like, mate, why have you not invited me? So I'd get him there. Just trying to think, who else would I want to be? Probably, just trying to think. I would say one of my really good mates from school, Buzzy B. I went on my gap here with. Really good guy. Haven't seen him for years, so it'd be good to catch up with him. I think he's married now with kids, so he's doing bloody well. He lives down in Norfolk. Looks after an estate down there, so doing really well. And then I'd probably have someone like Alan Sugar. Just I need someone to chat business with, and he's someone I've always been keen to try and business develop a little bit and try and do some business with. So I'd use this opportunity to impress him, with my dad would be there backing me up, and then to show him that I'm friends with James Haskell and Nick Abendelon, and also Buzzy B's just a real good laugh. So he'd be getting in the mixer, and then I should probably have a woman because it shouldn't just be like a boys' club. This is not the Bullingdon club. I'm not that way inclined. I'm all about women's rights, and so I'd probably have Kelly Brook, but not now. Kelly Brook about 15 years ago, when her body was unbelievably hot. So yeah, so the old young Kelly Brook, not old Kelly Brook, and she'd just be there. And I just want to say I'm a massive fan of women's rights, so I don't want you to get me wrong, but she'd be great eye candy. You know what I mean? Yeah.
You talk about your friendship there with James Haskell. So obviously his MMA fight's now being rescheduled. You helping him with fitness? I can imagine you being quite good, just sort of morale boost.
I offered, but he's declined. He actually wrote me a lovely message just saying, mate, you've got too much banter. He didn't say that. He said, you've got too much time in your hands. Please stop. But I read it as you've got too much banter. Like, please stop. So yeah, not helping him, but wishing the best of luck. I will. I'm sure he'll send me a ticket. I should get on that and ask him. But yeah, I can't wait to see him fight. He's a great guy. I love Fridge, and I'm working on quite a lot of TV shows with him. You know, well, not with him, but so I'm pitching to Dave about TV shows that would be me and Hask having a good time.
I guess something we're all missing is like outings to rugby stadiums like Twickenham. What's a typical sort of outing for you to Twickenham?
It's like going to church, guys. For me, it's a real. I mean, I'm not religious, but if I was religious, it would be like going to church. My only religion, I guess, is rugby, and I go to Twickenham to lash to the gods. So I mean, normally I just go there and I'm on Guinness all day. You know, I get up in the morning. I normally get on the train from Clapham Common to from Clapham Junction to Twickenham. I normally sing like Swing Low, Sweet Chariot at least I think my record's 20 times, but at least 15 times, and everybody loves it. I'm already chewing down a few, chopping a few Guinnesses down, singing it, and they absolutely love it. They just, the whole crowd just enjoy it. I get there, I chop more Guinness, and yeah, I just go through the day chopping beers. When I'm in the stadium, I'm also, because I've got a great intellect of rugby, I will also tell people around me who are not necessarily I know, but I'll just tell them, you know, about the game. I'll just point out things, or, you know, I'll let the referee know. Obviously, sometimes the referee can't hear me, but I'll just make sure everyone around me knows that the referee might have got a decision wrong. But it's great fun. Love Twickers. It'd be great if they did like a club night at Twickenham. That'd be amazing. That's a business idea there, actually. Yeah. Don't steal that. Don't steal that, guys.
Got it. So, you talk about Swing Low, Sweet Chariot there. Is that your favourite rugby chant of them all? Or is there any others which...
I love the song More Lash, 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 More Lash.
Oh, you don't hear that at Twickenham very much.
More Lash, 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 More Lash. More lash, more lash.
Done.
So I like lash, 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 lash. Or any of those. That's a little bit of a tinkling on, because I don't know if you realise the third song I sang had no more. It was just lash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Straight down to the basics.
So normally you sing lash first, and then you sing more lash afterwards.
Got it.
Because you would have had a bit of lash, and then you want some more lash. And that song, More Lash, is really good to sing when you finish clubbing, because you're like heading home. More lash. It doesn't work by yourself. I have tried it by myself, walking back from Infernos. It's better when you're in a group.
Okay. Yeah, thanks for the tip. So if we gave you the opportunity to name a sevens team with rugby players, professional rugby players with the best chat, who do you think is going to be making that side?
Do they have to be playing now?
No, they can retired.
Okay. Hask, Kersey, me. That would be. I'm not going to give positions. Benders.
That's fine.
Who else? Dozza's got some pretty good chat. He's been on the pod recently. Really good guy. Jim Hamilton. What am I on now? 6?
That's 6.
5? 6. One more. What would I say? Stuart Barnes. He's got shit chat, but he'd just be great to be around so we can all abuse him. You've always got to have one guy in the rugby team you abuse.
Yeah.
Like we've got a guy in our team called Wetter, and we abused it. It's sort of on the verge of bullying, but like really funny bullying. Like he's obese, he's completely overweight, and we'll just say stuff to him like fat, you're fat. Basically, I don't know if you realize, a lot of my songs have the same tune. Yeah. But one of the favourite songs I just sing to him: you're fat, you're fat, you're fat, you're fat, you're fat, you're fat. And at the end, I was just saying, mate, I can't believe you're divorced. You are never going to find another girl, wife or girlfriend. And he just loves that kind of chat. You should see his face. He absolutely loves it. That's rugby banter for you guys.
So none of the current England lads making it into that. Not enough chat at the moment.
Sorry?
In the current England side, there's not much chat.
No, unfortunately not. Well, when you have people like George Ford and Owen Farrell who have really boring haircuts and talk, I actually have I have all the recordings of George Ford and Owen Farrell talking after games, and that helps me go to sleep. It's dry. Poor guys, great rugby players, but they're lacking in the chat department. And hopefully one day, fingers crossed, we'll see a fly half who's got some chat or some, something about them. Unfortunately, we've got two guys who look like Lego men out there, just sort of kicking the ball, looking pretty angry. Like, I'd love to see them both with a beer in their hands, preferably before the match, just for a bit of chat.
So I'm sure you obviously watched the final in November. I'm not sure how much the day you probably remember by the sounds of things, but where do you think it was wrong there?
Just the chat department. You've got to have, they were two like robots out there. You've got to have a bit. If you had someone like Haskin there, he would have said, listen guys, sometimes when we play, I'll say to the guys, listen, forget about what we've done in training. You just got to play heads up rugby. It's not about your physicality. It's not about your left hand pass. It's all about that. Just communication. Right, guys, we're 10 points down. What we're going to do, obviously, give the ball to me, guys, and just watch me work. But listen to my chat. Listen to what I'm saying. Okay, I'm gonna crossfield kit. I'm actually not, but I'm saying I'm crossfield kit. That kind of stuff. And I think that's where England went wrong. Also, South Africa are fucking good. I don't know.
Right, just before we finish, I've got one more question for you. I think it's probably going to be quite a tough one for you. Soho Farmhouse or the Ned?
Oh, sorry, I just spat there because I was quite offended. It's not a tough choice. It's the Ned. The Ned is great for Lash, but also you can get business done. And those are two of my top 5 things I like to do: Lash and business. In Soho Farmhouse, unfortunately, there's quite a lot of Labour supporters there. These sort of Jeremy Corbyn, people who like Jeremy Corbyn. So not for me. I know Hask likes going there, but I think they pay him to go there to DJ. If Soho House are listening to this podcast, I'm more than welcome to come and do a talk on just fitness or whatever. Just let me know. But always the Ned. Love the Ned. Love showing people my Ned membership. And if I don't have my Ned membership on me, I love telling people I'm a member of the Ned. I'm telling you now, I'm a member of the Ned. I'm telling you listeners, guys, I'm a member of the Ned. Yeah. Sure. Find me on LinkedIn. We can have a little luncheon at the Ned. And there are 8 different restaurants there. 8 different restaurants. And a rooftop with a swimming pool. Unbelievable.
Oh, sure. So I guess one question that we ask all our guests is their favourite moment. So what's your favourite moment in your long, illustrious career?
Great question. I'm still very concerned about the curtains behind you. It does look like you have been maybe partaking in some sort of drug taking behind you. But anyway, my favourite moment, probably, I've got to say, if I'm being totally honest, my debut for the Clapham Falcons, I just love doing 20 bum funnels. I still now, sometimes, every once in a while, say to everyone, right, get your bums out, we're doing bum funnel time. And, I'll just get everyone to do bum. So, yeah, my debut was pretty magical.
What was your debut like on the pitch?
Pardon?
On the pitch, how did your debut go?
Oh yeah, fantastic! I don't think I've ever had a bad game for the Clapham Falcons. Funny enough, I'm an incredibly gifted fly half. It's almost like I've got wind mirrors. I can see all around me. It's quite incredible. I could have gone down the pro route. I don't know if I've told many people that, but I could have. But unfortunately, there is too much bants to be had in the semi-pro league, so I'm sticking with it. Plus, I've got a very hefty basic salary in the city, so. I've got a lustrous career to come from that. But I've signed a 4+1 with the Clapham Falcons. So I've got another 5 years of playing rugby.
Amazing. Well, Archie, I'd just like to say thank you very much for taking your time out to come join us. One thing we promised on the Tap and Go is to bring our listeners all aspects of rugby, and you've definitely shone a new light today. So thank you.
I'd imagine so. Probably the best podcast you've had, podcast guest, considering you've had Clive Woodward. He must have been stiff. But yeah, guys, thanks for listening. Thanks for having me. I really, really, really enjoy it. It's great. I'm slightly concerned about one of the guy in the white t-shirt. What's your name?
Matt.
Yeah, your haircut is it's very edgy, very edgy. It just needs to grow out a little bit on the sides. But yeah. Interesting. But okay. Anyway, listen, guys. Thanks so much for having me. Really appreciate it. Let me know when you want me to come on again. You know, if anyone wants more.
Might try and get you and Hask on together next time.
That would be brilliant. And what you should do is then charge your listeners to listen to it and then give us a cut. I'm sure if you ask James Haskell about that, I'm sure he'd be very keen.
Let's do it. Cheers,
guys. I'm going.
You.
Come on!